Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode in the Rise of the Moors series and to the final match day of the 2015-16 Vanarama National League North campaign and what is our promotion party. So there's been 5 games since the last episode, so I'll have a quick look at the highlights of those games now, and when we come back it'll be our final match day of the campaign. That's away versus bottom of the table and already relegated FC United. So enjoy the highlights and I'll see you shortly. So our decent run of form in the final phases of this campaign has continued throughout the last month. We did, however, lose Alfie Young. He's returned to his parent club as his loan deal expired, so that provides an opportunity for a couple of the youngsters to come into the team. So as I've mentioned, we've maintained our good form in the final phases of the campaign. And following that Worcester game, we had an interesting tie at home to Corby, where we came out on top of a 7-goal thriller. So David Roberts came in to play at centre-back. He scored on his debut, but he was probably at fault for at least one of the Corby goals. We looked particularly fragile at the back, and actually I think Jack Byrne was really lucky to stay on the pitch in this fixture. And it was goals for David Roberts, our new signing, Kieran Bywater, Theo Street got another goal, so that's 2 in 2 for him, and Matt Godden with the 4th there. And following the Corby game, another home tie for us, this time at home to Bradford Park Avenue, who were embroiled in a relegation battle at the time. A solid 1-0 victory there. We didn't create a huge amount of clear-cut chances, but we maintained possession better in this fixture than in the Corby game. And a lot of our midfielders had a really good display for us here. And it was Jake Beasley with the goal to secure the victory here. And then came an away fixture versus Telford. We again looked a little fragile in defence, with David Roberts starting the game, but he had a particularly poor outing. Overall, it wasn't a fantastic performance by the Moors. We were unlucky not to win. We just weren't clinical enough in front of goal in this fixture. We did create a good number of chances, but we just weren't really at it. A decent draw really away at one of the teams in the playoff race, but I wasn't particularly happy to drop some points in this fixture, and I'll tell you why in a couple of moments. Following the Telford game, a good solid win versus Hensford, 2 goals for Bywater in that fixture, and again a quality performance from a lot of our midfielders, but in fact Ben Glasgow with 2 assists in that game, and he was the pick of the bunch. Our last outing was a close game against Chorley, who, even though they have been in a relegation battle, have actually been quite a tough opposition for us this season. But it was a fixture that we just edged, and Matt Godden with the goal to secure victory there. So as you can see, it's the last game of the season and of our campaign in the National League North today, where we're playing away at FC United, who are bottom of the table. FC United haven't won since Boxing Day, and I'm just going to show you their form here. As you can see, their form has been absolutely terrible throughout the season. I think they've only picked up 6 victories in the whole campaign. So other repercussions today, it's only the final relegation spot that's being contested today. Curzon Ashton need to win and hope that Bradford Park Avenue or Chorley don't. Our draw for Chorley will be enough for their survival based on their superior goal difference. So I quickly mentioned I was a bit disappointed to drop points against Telford, and the reason for that is that a win today against FC United will allow us to equal the record points haul for a single season in the Vanarama National League North. That's set by FC Chester, I believe. So a win today will draw us level with Chester's record of 107 points. So this record points haul was in the back of my mind going through the final phases of the campaign. So it's a shame that we dropped points against Telford in such a manner. But the record was set by an absolutely outstanding Chester team. I scored so many goals in that campaign, if I recall correctly. So I'm not too upset about not surpassing that points tally, because really the promotion and the championship itself is really enough for us this season. But I'll touch more on the records and our performance throughout the season in the next episode, where I'll do a bit of a post-mortem and a review of the season and the campaign overall. So as I've mentioned, away at FC United today, Chorley need a point to secure survival. They're at home to 4th place Telford, and Bradford Park Avenue, they're playing at home to Gainsborough as well. Curzon Ashton have got a tricky away fixture to Stockport. So Jake Beasley picked up an injury in one of the fixtures since the last episode, so he hasn't been playing recently. So Matt Godden has been drafted in. I'm actually going to bring Beasley back in for the final game of the season today. And we'll put Godden on the bench. I have been playing one of our youngsters at centre back, either David Roberts or our new gen intake from this season, Stuart Davis. But I think I'm going to be playing quite a strong team today, with Stuart Davis on the bench if required. And I'm also going to bring back Adam Walker to play in the centre of the park, with Callum Gittings dropping to the bench for the final game of the season. So pretty standard lineup for us for the final phases of the campaign. Bywater playing on the left, Odiambo on the right, Beasley up top, Walker and Byrne in the middle. Haddon, he's playing the defensive midfield role, and then our usual defensive unit, but this time with Keenan Kwanzaa being drafted into centre defence. I'm actually going to put Bywater as a winger today and on attack. His form's been okay the last few games. I think it took him a few fixtures to get going in the Solihull Moors team, but he's now contributed 3 goals in 6 appearances for us since his free transfer. So we're favourites for the win today against already relegated FC United. I'm hoping for an impressive performance today against already relegated FC United. We're favourites for the win, and hopefully we can end the campaign on a high note. They're playing the standard 4-4-2. They've got a couple of decent players in their squad as well. So we'll close down their front two as always. Greg Daniels and Matthew Wolfenden have both got enough about them to cause us problems. We'll encourage the team today. Tell them to go out and make some difference. And let's crack on. So it's the Moors to start away at FC United. We've got the latest scores up in the top right of the screen so we can keep an eye on what's going on elsewhere in the division. But it's Beasley at the edge of the area already in the opening moments. Jack Byrne now finds his way to Odiambo and he gets closed down and tackled. It's like a decent spell of possession for us in the opening moments. About 15-16 minutes in now. No real opportunities for either team just yet though. But Glasgow rises high, he wins the ball and Odiambo heads it away. Ben Glasgow's been absolutely fantastic in the final few games this season. He wins the ball back. We've worked the ball over to Bywater who loses out and Theo Street gets a good tackle in there. Haddon, he plays the ball away. Another opportunity, Glasgow is still forward. Works the ball into Beasley, who hasn't played for a few games through injury. Haddon into Byrne, he spreads the ball wide. Ben Glasgow on the right, he whips a decent ball in, Beasley's free. I think the shot was blocked in the end. It's corner to the Moors on the right side with Bywater drilling it across. Theo Street rises and Beasley at the back post. Another goal for Jake Beasley. Great header at the back post. I think Theo Street got another touch on its way through to him as well. But it's Jake Beasley who rises above his defenders to smash one home. It looks like Chorley are losing as well. AFC Telford are winning away. FC United working their way forward now. It's with Murray on the left. Douglas with a long ball forward and Theo Street rises high to make a clearance. And a long ball forward. Is Daniel's going to get there? No, he's offside in the end, but neither the keeper or the Street were going to deal with that. It didn't look like. Moors on the ball, about 5 minutes to go till half time. Jack Byrne making his way forward. He finds Haddon, who's in a lot of space. Good ball across to Glasgow, knocks it down to Odiambo at the edge of the area, and he has a go. Eric Odiambo. He squeezes the ball home for the goal. I think their goalkeeper should have done a bit better there. What an effort from Eric Odiambo. Maybe the keeper didn't have an opportunity to save that actually. So it's 2-0 to the Moors at half time. Tell them to keep going. So Curzon Ashton are 0-0 at Stockport. Chorley have got a goal back, so they're drawing at AFC Telford, and the Bradford Park Avenue Gainsborough game is all square as well. So no change at the bottom. If it remains 0-0 between Bradford and Gainsborough, then Curzon Ashton only need a goal to survive. So FC United to kick us off for the second half here. The Moors 2-0 to the good, and no real opportunities for FC United thus far in the game, but they have one here, and Daniels has hit the post. I think that was pretty poor marking from the Moors here. It's a corner to FC United. It's whipped in. Quanta rises highest to make the clearance, but only as far as the edge of the area. So their striker Wolfenden tries to drill one in, but that's blocked, and Beasley picks up the loose ball. Curzon Ashton are losing now. Stockport are taking the lead. So that may seal their fate. But back here, it's Walker on the ball for the Moors. No real teammates available, and he's been pushed out wide. Finds Connor Franklin, who drills it into Jack Byrne. He gives the ball away unusually, but Haddon, again, another quality tackle from him. Walker again on the ball, very patient by him, into Byrne, across to Haddon. He drills another good ball across. It's Ben Glasgow with a lot of space at the edge of the box. He finds the cross and it's Jake Beasley again. Second goal of the game for Beasley. Fantastic performance from him so far. And Ben Glasgow, is that his second assist of the game? I think it might be. Brilliant goal from the Moors. A lot of time and space for our right back there to pick out a good cross. It's about 60 minutes, so I'm going to have a look at a substitution now. It's still 1-0 to Stockport in that game. And Chorley are losing 2-1. Glover with 2 goals for AFC Telford. And it's still all square in the Park Avenue Gainsborough game. So Chorley need 2 goals. Curzon Ashton need 2 goals to survive now. I'm going to bring on Callum Gittings now. He's deserved a run out for the final game. He's going to be coming on for Adam Walker, who's been playing quite patiently, I think, so far. What we've seen. Put him on central midfield attack still. I want him to really support our front three. Bywater's had quite a quiet game, and I think Matthew Fletcher, for the same reason, he deserves a run out, so he's going to be coming on. We'll put him as the winger role. Hopefully his pace can cause some trouble for them in the final few stages. And realistically, with one more substitution to go, we'll keep that in reserve for later. Possibly one of our backup defenders, maybe our new gen, you can come on for a bit of experience later in the game. So leaving it on control, I think we've dominated this game so far. No shots on target for FC United, and whilst I'd love to be going after all, as many remaining goals as we can in the time we have left, I don't want to overcommit ourselves. Just going to make that final substitution now, actually. And Stuart Davis, he's coming on. He's going to be coming on for our loanee, who's been with us all season, Keenan Kwanzaa. I probably haven't played him as much as I should have. He's been a good servant for the club though. Last few moments here, it's 3-0 to the Moors away. It's maybe the last highlight of the campaign for us. Jack Byrne with the ball. That's a Fletcher who's just come on. Gittings in the middle as well. He drills another great ball across to Eric Odiambo. That's Ben Glasgow. Byrne, and that's it. We've dominated FC United, and that is the campaign over. Finishing on a high with a 3-0 win. Yes, away against bottom of the table, who have been in such poor form. A convincing and actually quite a comfortable win for us there. It looks like Curzon Ashton lost away at Stockport, so that's them relegated. So 2 goals from Beasley. It's a shame we couldn't get a hat-trick for us today. The third goal coming from Eric Odiambo. 64% possession for us. So that's the campaign over. 107 points from 42 games. 33 wins, 8 draws, and just the 1 loss along the way. I think it's been a fantastic season for the Moors. And like I've said, in the next episode, I'll do a quick roundup of the season, as well as a bit of a post-mortem about our performances and also our plans for the next campaign, which will be in the Vanarama National League. And if that episode doesn't sound like it's for you, then the episode after that will be at the start of next season and our first game in the Vanarama National League. So thanks for watching again, guys. The Moors are champions, and convincingly so, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.